All right. We are back again with another episode of Light Skin, episode 24. We almost half a century, which is crazy. Well, quarter. That's right. Math is crazy. It's not. It's almost school. I'm not really worried about that right now. But we are here with, if you want to introduce yourself,
Mike Letica.
Mikey Letica. Known this guy for, I don't even know, 4 or 5 years.
It's been a while, yeah.
It's been a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But like always, we're going to start from the beginning. And tell us about where you grew up, what was life kind of like at that young age, and then we just going to go from there.
Okay. I grew up in Gary. My parents had their house there, and I lived there until I graduated from school. I went to Stowe School, play all kinds of sports as soon as I could.
Mm-hmm.
When we were young, we didn't have any video games and stuff,
mm-hmm.
so we would just get up. When we get up, we'd go out, and then we'd come in when it's dark.
Yeah.
And that's how we all became pretty decent at sports. And
mm-hmm.
Morgan Park, was always good in sports. It was because everybody played sports all the
mm-hmm.
time. And then after that, I went to Morgan Park High School. It was at that time, it was 7th to 12th grade.
Okay.
There was
mm-hmm.
no junior high or anything, and it was a high school. I graduated
mm-hmm.
from there in 1980.
Mm-hmm.
I played several sports there, and we had a good time. I look at today and I'm thinking like, geez, oh man, I wish, some of that stuff that I grew up with
mm-hmm.
existed today, because it'll never come back.
Yeah, and a lot of people do talk about like how, everything that was going on in Morgan Park just at the time when they were young, it was a lot of different areas where kids can play at, or different ranks that they had, in the winter for hockey and stuff like that, which it's crazy. I was just talking to my staff about figuring out, is there a way to even bring a rink or two back this winter, like finding a space for it, but I don't know. We'll see. How many siblings did you grow up with?
4 sisters and 1 brother.
Where were you at in the?
Second to the youngest.
Okay.
So my brother was 11 years older than me,
mm-hmm.
and then my youngest sister is 2.5 years younger than me.
Okay.
And that skating rink thing you were talking
mm-hmm.
about, I hear some good things that might be happening a little bit, so stay tuned on that. Yeah,
all right, that could be fun. We won't get into that. All right, so after high school, what were you thinking? Did you have any idea of like what you wanted to do?
No clue. I did what everybody else did, want to go to college, right? That's what everybody did. I didn't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care for the school. The reason I went to school was so I could play sports.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to go to a Vo-Tech over in Superior,
mm-hmm.
and I took up industrial electronics.
Yeah.
And I love math, so
mm-hmm.
I'm good at math, and that's what it is, 90% math for like industrial electronics. And then after the first semester, I did real well.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the first semester, the first thing the instructor says is, he goes, I just want you guys all to know, since you made it through the first quarter,
mm-hmm.
the first semester, that you're going to have to probably go and live in Chicago. That's
mm-hmm.
the nearest place that has this kind of electronics thing.
Okay.
You're going to be a resistor sorter for 2 or 3 years, which is color coded on the resistors, to make the boards.
Mm-hmm.
He said that's what we're going to do for the first 2 or 3 years. He said you're going to make good money.
Okay.
But that's what you're going to do. I quit the next day.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't going to do all that,
mm-hmm.
So then I went into accounting.
Okay. Wait, you went into accounting, like, did you go to college? Did you go back to college?
Yeah, same place.
Okay, same place.
Yeah, Wisconsin, WITI, Wisconsin Indiana Technical Institute is called at the time. I don't know what it's called now.
Yeah, okay. Is that the Northwood School? The Northwood Tech? Over there by the YMCA?
I think WITI
it's by YMCA.
Yeah, so that's the Northwood Tech now.
Okay.
That makes sense. All right, yeah, I've been in there. They actually got a dope robotics program.
Oh, really?
And every winter they have the robotics conference. And like all these people come in from like all over the US, and they compete with the robots that they build. It's actually crazy.
Fun.
I've been to watch one of them before, so it's pretty cool.
Denfield's got a good robotic team. I've supported them, and I've watched them a little bit.
I heard about that too. Like they made it. I don't know if they made the nationals, but they might have made it to state and got second.
Yeah.
Or something like that. All right, so let's back up a little bit. So you grew up in an Asian household,
mm-hmm.
right? All right, full Asian or?
Well, my mom is 100%. She's from Okinawa.
Okay,
Japan annexed in World War II, so Japanese is the official.
Yeah.
She's 100% Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
My father was more of a mutt. He was kind of like Eastern Bloc type thing, a little bit of Russian in him, a little bit of Bulgaria, Hungary, all of those types of places. He was a mixed breed.
Yeah, and then, all right, so what was the household like? Like, what was it like at home? Was it strict? Was it?
Yeah, back then everybody was strict for the most part. There was no timeouts. It was like, where's my switch? You know. But anyway, yeah. So that my mom was basically my dad dropped her off. He built the house in 1957. Then he brought my mom and my two older siblings from Okinawa to Gary, New Duluth.
Yeah.
And then my dad, after about 2 weeks, my dad went back overseas and didn't come back for a few years.
Oh, wow.
Because he was a merchant marine.
Okay, all right, yeah.
So he didn't come back for a while. So here my mom is, can't speak the language.
That's crazy. Just in Duluth, Minnesota.
Yeah, exactly. Luckily, where we are in Gary, that was like a Serbian Orthodox community.
Okay.
That's kind of why it was there. And my dad, of course, that's the reason why he went there, because he's from that part, of the world. So yeah, so we did have friends from the church right away. I mean, I didn't, by the time I was born, I didn't know any of this stuff or deal with it, but yeah, so.
Were there any expectations put on? Because you hear the stereotypes of like, Asian families, they expect their kids to go into certain fields or do certain things. Like, were there any expectations for what you should do, or any of your siblings, like when you graduate high school, things like that?
Not at all.
Okay.
My mom didn't understand that culture.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so she didn't, put any pressure on it. It's up to all of us to do that. And college was not an important thing back then, especially for us.
Yeah.
I had a boss once. He promoted me. I was 22 years old. He promoted me to a manager. And I go, geez, oh man, I was thinking about going maybe to Pepsi or Coke or something, and working for them. Yeah. And but now that I got this, I'm going to stick here on for a while, because I had no idea how long I'd worked for Curtis Oil, right?
Yeah.
So that whole thing, Jack Curtis says to me, he goes, Mike, he goes, I'd rather hire you, have you, look what I got in you. I'd rather have you than somebody 4 years out of college.
Yeah.
He goes, what are they going to do with that degree to help me run these stores? You worked for me for those 4 years. Yeah. You can run this.
And you know his expectations and stuff too.
Exactly. Yeah. So that when he said that to me, like, it actually changed my thought process a little bit too, because I want my kids to go to college and everything. And one's a cop, and then Dusty, he did go. He got his master's, but like me, my family. I don't think any of us graduated a 4-year college. No, really? I know that for sure. None of us graduated a 4-year college.
Okay, well, true. That's cool though.
Yeah.
Had y'all been? Did you get to go back to where your mother was from at all?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Last time I was there when I was 10 years old, 1972.
Yeah.
I can still remember. I learned. I was a sponge. 10 years old. You twig it to me. That type of thing. I mean, I can speak the language. I remember every single thing that I learned from there when I was there 2.5 months. Everything I learned, I remember. Okay. For some reason, I can't remember what happened yesterday. But I can remember shit that happened in 1972 when I was over in Okinawa.
Oh, that's cool. And then food. All right, look. Let me tell you. So. When I was growing up in Jersey, there was a family there, the Hiroshimas. Hiroshimas is how they say it.
That's a Japanese name.
Yeah, Japanese. And there was this lady named Miss Chiki, and she was from, gosh, I wish. It's a small village, and I used to know the name of it. That was on the island somewhere, I don't remember. Anyway, she came over here like way back in the day. Her parents brought her here to escape some stuff that was going on. But every time we went there, she put this spread of food out. I couldn't wait to go to her house for dinner. Like, whenever we got that call from Miss Chicky, we there. Like, and I mean, it would be 4 of us. There was enough food to feed 10 peasants, which is a lot of food. like feeding 1 peasant is a lot. But so how was like food and stuff growing up?
That must be part of the culture. Then it could have been the Serbian portion too as well. But whenever you came to our house, my mom always had extra food. I mean, and you got to remember, we had no money. We didn't have any money, but she always made a ton of food, and she'd always say, "Come over here and eat. Come on and eat." And whoever came over, and I gained about 30 or 40 pounds like. The year after I graduated from high school, and I didn't do anything different except I wasn't playing sports like I was every day, but I was eating the same amount. So that's how much my mom fed me. She fed 30 to 40 pounds worth of weight I gained because I was eating the same amount of food but not exercising.
No, that's funny. So, all right, now we're going to fast forward again. Now that you're doing accounting, did you think that's a field you would be in for a long time or what?
No, accounting, I quit after about 3 weeks, and when you go from industrial electronics, where my first class was advanced trigonometry, that was my very first math class, and I did well in that stuff, right? Well, so I go to accounting, and the first class must have been like second grade math, and these people are struggling, and then we were waiting on it. So everything I'm going through is like it went so slow, and I was so bored to death. I couldn't handle it. I thought, okay, maybe I like numbers, but accounting is not for me. So I quit that, and then I just focused on working as a manager at Super America with Curtis Oil.
Okay, all right. And then how long were you with Curtis Oil?
37 years.
God damn.
October 1st, 1981 is when I started.
All right, and then you retired.
You
never really retired. No, you always doing something.
Curtis Oil, they actually, so when Quick Trips came into the market, we were doing real well because I had a year to prepare for them, so we were doing fine. But the other companies like Little Stores, Holidays, they were losing 30 to 50% of the business. So what happened is the banks decided to stop or take away the line of credit from all of the local convenience store owners. Okay. So they're going, without a line of credit, we were fine, but without, you need a line of credit just in case, right? And if you don't have that, and you can't plan on certain things happening, and it's a bigger deal than as how much the banks have power over the business owners, because Curtis Oil had 10 stores, they had an oil company, they're well off financially, but still have to worry about that. And once that happened, then he put the stores on the market.
Got it. What did Curtis Oil become? Quick Trips?
Nope, it's Curtis Oil is now the Speedway stores.
Oh, okay.
I
didn't know that.
Yeah, that was the super, like the one in Champs Chicken on
4th Street.
Yeah, I actually was the rebuild. We rebuilt that, cost us $3.5 million, and I was in charge of that project. So I was there quite a bit, and it was really enjoyable to be in that process. For sure. And the community, they did appreciate that store a lot. Back.
Oh, it's in a prime location.
Yeah,
I mean. I go in that store every once in a while, but it's always full of kids that we serve or parents. I mean, number one, Champs is good, especially when it's fresh. The chicken's great. And like I said, the convenience of it is nice because it's next to the hospital, so you always see nurses going in and out, or doctors or things like that. So, that's cool.
Yeah, a lot of walk-in traffic as well. The gas sales weren't there, but the walk-in traffic is where you make the money anyway.
So after Curtis Oil closed, what was the plan for you? What were you thinking?
I didn't have much of a plan. I knew I had opportunities. Like I could have worked for one of the vendors, for example, that I worked with for all those years. Like corporate Super America wanted to hire me on to do the same job up here that I was doing, basically operations manager. And I tried that for a few weeks, and it didn't work out. It's like I can't be, when you go from a private company, and being in charge of everything, and then a corporation comes in and puts their claws in you, and you have to ask permission for everything. I can't deal with. I couldn't deal with it, so I didn't last very long.
You're like me, I get it. I hate working for people.
And they give you a lot. Like they gave me a 6-figure income. They gave me profit sharing. They gave me a company car, company credit card. All of this stuff, they give all this stuff to you, and I realized why they gave that to me, because that's the only reason I actually went on, because I said no.
Yeah.
I realized that because they figure once you start making the money and you get all that stuff, you're not going to leave. Yeah. So, but that wasn't the case with me. I got out right away. Just couldn't handle it.
And then what? Then what was your?
I opened us. That's when I started having to think. Like I thought, okay, I'm probably going to get out of this business. So then I was searching around for things. I opened an online auction company. I went with my son-in-law Caleb. Mike Letica Roads Auction.
Yeah, I know Caleb.
Yeah, I know you do. And then. Train of thought. See how you are? And then what happened is that, so I had that going. It wasn't very long. And then Morgan, the Iron Mug restaurant in Morgan Park had closed. And
I don't remember that. That was before my time.
And the community approached me. This was in 2018, I believe, 2018.
Okay, I'm sure.
The community approached me and said, Mike, if we lose that Iron Mug, we might as well lose Morgan Park's identity. There's just nothing out here anymore, And they said, "Will you please open it?" It's like the hub of Morgan Park, And I have I always will have a big attachment to Morgan Park, Western Duluth, all that stuff. And I thought that might be fun. I've never been in a restaurant, but I've been in food service. Yeah. So I thought, okay. So then I had to get rid of my auction company, and then I opened the Iron Mug. I did that for 14 months, lost about $50,000, and I had to call it quits. Yeah. It was too hard. Morgan Park is it's like off the beaten path. Yeah. You have to want to go to Morgan Park to go there, and there's just nothing there.
Nothing. And I never want to go to Morgan Park. Yeah. Now, just to pick kids up for football practice, or take them to the center.
Nothing out there at all.
Nothing.
Just my Speedway station. That's where I started in 1979.
Okay. Yeah.
I started working at that station. Like I was skipping school, going fishing. And the manager says, "Hey, you want a job?" Yeah. So that's what I did. So if I didn't skip school to go fishing that day, who knows where my life would be right now.
Yeah, it's some small little Little things. All right, now I'm about to back up because I want to know this story. Y'all never asked it. Where did you meet Shirley at?
At the Stadium Lanes. Okay. So we were bowling. That's one good fellowship club in Morgan Park. You went around on that thing. Did you ever? Yeah. Did you see the old version of it? Oh, am I supposed to be talking?
Yeah, you know. He's allowed a couple questions.
Do you remember like the old days when they had bowling lanes in there, the swimming pool, everything?
No, that was before my time.
So that's what I grew up in. My brother Steve ran that. 24/7. So that's and he was like my father figure. Yep. So wherever he went, I went. Racquetball. We had bowling lanes, automatic pin sitter. We had a basketball court with the track above. We had a swimming pool.
Damn, that's a whole rec center.
Games room. We had a game room with everything, And picture, I'm not kidding. I was there 10 to 14 hours every day.
Oh, so I would have been.
Yeah, for sure.
Would have been for sure.
And so then bowling is then the bowling. The club, Good Fellowship Club, the city decided that it's all west and it costs us too much money, so we're just gonna close it. It's typical, know. And then what happened is that I went to bowl at Stadium Lanes.
Yep.
And that's when I met Shirley. 1979.
1979. Listen, Shirley be cooking too.
Yeah.
I'll be going over there. Shirley made these egg rolls one time. If you listening, when this come out, make egg rolls that day because I'm gonna be right at the house. Or that fried rice.
Yeah.
Now that fried rice, is that like your mom's recipe?
Yep. My mom passed. Before my mom passed, she lived at. I wanted to take care of her. I didn't want to put her in a home. Yep. So I took Shirley and I took care of her for 6 months. Well, during that time, my mom never writes anything down on recipes and stuff. It's all up here, right? Yeah. So that whole time, she gave Shirley her whole recipe.
That's dope.
Yeah, so she wrote it down in Japanese, and then Shirley says, "Mom, I don't understand this." Oh yeah. So then she wrote it in English, and that's why whenever you taste anything Asian when you come to my place, it's because of that.
Yeah.
My mom's recipe.
Dope. Yeah, and that's what I figured. Because what is Shirley's background? Like, what's her ethnicity? What were her parents?
My mom always said, "Is it Swedish?" No. I can't remember what it is, but Irish. She's part Irish because my mom said, "Oh, Michael, Irish, they have bad temper." Watch them, and I'm thinking I have the worst temper of anybody I know, But anyway,
that's funny. That's awesome. All right, so let's fast forward a little bit. After Iron Mug, now where are we?
Duluth Dodge.
Okay.
I went to Duluth Dodge. I didn't plan on doing it. I still owned the restaurant at the time, and then an old buddy of mine, maybe you know him, Dan Renfro.
Okay, yeah.
So he used to work for me way back in the day.
Okay, yeah.
And Mike, he goes, "Oh my God," he goes, "You'd be fantastic at this thing, You come up here and work for us. We're looking for a salesman." I go, "I've never sold a car. I don't know much about cars." I go, "Nah, I don't think so."
Yeah.
Anyways, he had me he tricked me and had me talk to his boss.
Okay.
One day when I came up there to visit Dan, and then his boss talked to me, and so he explained everything to me, and it was a good wage and everything. So I gave it a try, and what the best part about that is that I didn't have to wait for people to come in off the lot. Well, the car business. People would contact me because a lot of people knew me. A few people knew me, and they would contact me and say "Hey, Mike, I need this." So it was like extra business I brought to them, which was they made them happy as well. And then I went to Kohler shortly thereafter.
I remember your Kohler times.
And then I had my lung problem that kept me out of work for a long time, almost a year.
It's the nastiest thing.
Yeah. And then when I was recovering from the 2 surgeries for my side, Mark from Farmers.
Okay.
He was told by a guy from Arizona that knew me. He moved down to Arizona. He was a regional manager down there. He said, Mark said, "I gotta find somebody." And so he told me about me, told me about me, and I was polite and I talked to him, but I had no interest in being. I was almost 60 years old at the time. Yeah. I don't want to be starting a new career, that has to take all these licensing and tests and shit.
Because you had just sold your lawn care company.
Yeah. Right. Oh, yeah, I forgot I had the lawn care company.
I remember it all.
I forgot that.
Every time I said, "What is Mike doing now?" He promoted a whole other thing.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. But yeah, so I mean, it's everything. What I've done is I've learned a lot from because I'll make more mistakes, than I'll do right things, But I learn everything from the mistakes I made. I've learned stuff, and that's helped me today. Whether I learned a mistake, 40, 50 years ago, I remember it today, and I don't repeat it.
So I'm gonna back up again to something. Tell me about. And for people who don't know, I know a lot of people know about the toy drive that you do. But how did that get started to where it is now?
So people know that I would try to help out whenever I could, to a small extent, right? Family came to me and said, "Mike, my husband just lost his job. He was the sole, main person that brought in the income. He was like around December 5th, 6th or whatever. And they said that, so we don't have anything for Christmas because we wouldn't have anything saved up. We tried to go to one of the Salvation Army, and they already had their cutoff, so they couldn't get in. So then she tried other places, and every single one of them had a cutoff date.
Okay.
So none of them could get into any of that stuff, And I felt so bad. I said, well, I'll do what I can for you,
Yeah.
Well, that night, Shirley and I went Christmas shopping for my grandson. And we're going down the thing, and we're just like, oh, he would like this. We put that in the basket, Next thing you know, I got a basket. I got a 2-year-old grandson, and he's got a Target, overflowing basket at Target, right? And I'm looking at this, Shirley's looking at something else. I'm thinking, we got all of this stuff for my grandson, one kid. Got all this stuff. And then I remember the lady that asked me earlier in that day, and she had nothing, and she was up crying, and she was panicking. And here I am just throwing shit inside this cart, for my grandson that he didn't need it all.
Yeah.
So right then and there, I thought, like when I got home, I told Shirley on the way home, I told Shirley what I was thinking. And that's what started the whole process. I thought, okay, I'm gonna have a toy drive. It'll just be a small one. And from day one, that first year, it was huge.
Yeah.
And then it's only gotten bigger. But it's amazing because I think what happens is the community doesn't do a lot of things or doesn't have the opportunity to enjoy some of these things, like the toy drive, for example, like the backpack drive, like trunk or treat, Without some people in the community that doesn't organize that, we probably wouldn't have it.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Yeah, in the community, it has nothing to do. I'm a good organizer. I know a few people, but the community, they're the ones who fund this whole thing. They support it with money. They support it with helping. I had 20 people wrapping presents up at a pizza place.
Yeah, Blackwoods.
Blackwoods. So I mean,
I was tired.
The community really supports what we do. So that's what makes me happy. It makes it fun, for me. And then, of course, everything is about the kids for me. You and I are very similar in that regard for sure. Because everything I think about and do is for the kids. I mean, I'll try to help older, organizations. Like, for example, the homeless, touchy topic nowadays, but I always give them food. I always give them water. Hang on one second.
Yeah. Parched.
And I'll help out whatever I can, give tents and everything. I work with Deb Holman quite a bit on that stuff. But the whole thing is like if I try to help somebody, like they're addicted, let's say they're addicted to drugs and they're 30, 40 years old or alcohol or something. If I try helping them, like to change their lives, I really can't. It's like the life. Unfortunately, their life is what it is. So all I can do is help them be as comfortable and survive as much as I can. Let people know that people care about them. The kids. Once we reach the kids at a young age, we can help shape them into being a responsible adult. And without like the places like neighborhood youth services, without Valley Center, without things that maybe some of us do in the community, without that. Where would these kids be? Where would they go like during the day? I was a kid. I played sports. That was my thing. That's what I did. But if you don't have that opportunity, which you don't nowadays as much, what are you going to do? You're going to walk around the neighborhood, cause problems, and then who knows what, So, what we do for the kids, that's how everything is for me. Everything is the kids. Yeah,
no, for sure. And it's like, honestly, it's why I am in the position that I am, we got this nonprofit started is like we realize, and some people may take it wrong, I really don't care. But reaching parents is so hard. I get, if somebody try to come to me and ask me to change, probably won't happen. And I know me. First of all, Joe, don't even get me started on you because you're the most stubborn person I know. Love you to death. It's like trying to change Joe. I don't even know why I use me, because I'm open. But no, that's adults. We are so stuck in what we know. We don't think nobody else got the answers for what we have, But kids, they're still in the place where you can make an impression, and you can be an example of ultimately what they want and what they want to get to. And my goal for every kid that walk in our doors is that they end up better than what I'm doing, like in a way better career or, something that's more fruitful for them, or I just want them to be happy, but making mistakes, that's fine. I expect you to make mistakes. You're a kid. We all did, but know that as you're walking that path, we on you the whole time. Hey, I know you just went left, get your ass back over here because you got to focus back up, things like that. So it is those events like the toy drive and, the trunk or treat that we do and the backpack drive and the big dinners, to see the kids come in and like their eyes light up, but then them still just come back every day, even when there's nothing but, regular meals that we have. They know that this is a place where I can come get guidance, and if they're in need, where to call you can make no matter what time it is, and then hopefully through the work that we are doing with the kids, we can start to reach parents then, because they saying, okay, hey, my son and daughter used to be going this way, but now they're starting to straighten up. Who are these people that's getting them on? And now we get them in the door, and hopefully we can start to even influence just a small amount of change, because sometimes it don't take much. It's just something small that needs to change, and then they can figure it out from there.
And what you said is so cool, because you don't think, we're doing it because we want to, right?
Yeah.
We don't think anything about how they're perceiving it or receiving it, And one time I brought a gal out to speak at the Era Juvenile Center, and then Woodland Hills at the time, and Valley Youth Center stuff. Well, when I had her at Valley Youth Center, we were talking and everything like that, and then we kind of like got a break, in the action. And I was standing off to the side, and Mindy was doing the singing and stuff, and some little young gal, I don't know, 13 years old or so, she comes up to me, she goes, "Are you Mike Letica?" I go, "Yeah." I go, "Hi," and I go, "Nice to meet you. Who's she?" And she goes, well, and she told me who she was. I can't remember her name, but anyway, she said to me, she goes, "You know what?" She goes, "About 2 or 3 years ago," she goes, "you saved our Christmas." And I go, "Oh," I go, "How did you come and get a gift from our drive?" And she says, "No." She goes, "You came to my house, and you gave us money for food, so we had Christmas dinner. You gave us gifts, plus you gave us gift cards, and then you gave gifts to my parents." So as she says, "So I just want you to know that you saved Christmas for us, and I'll never forget that the rest of my life." So what we did right there is we created somebody who's going to do the same thing. And it's the first time somebody like that told me that. I'm sure there's a few kids who think that. Because I adopt families every year too at Christmas time. And then I go to their house with a bunch of presents. I find out like what kind of gifts kids like and everything. And then I always make sure to give them food for the dinner, and then something for the parents.
For sure.
Because the parents only care about the kids. So I always make sure that I give the parents a $50 gift card or something. But nonetheless, I want them to know that people are thinking of them too. So when she said that to me, I thought, oh man, she's gonna, this is gonna be. I think we just helped create a good person. She's gonna remember what this feeling was like, how bad she felt, and then how great she felt. And some stranger helped her. That's gonna go a long way in her life.
No, and that's what it's about, man. So, do you think you're gonna stay in this insurance thing, or is a couple months I'm gonna see you starting up a farm selling corn and cantaloupes and stuff?
You may see me start something different because I got something I got something pretty big going on right now, actually. But I'll be selling insurance until I retire.
I hear you. I mean, it's going good. I stop in there every once in a while. You're never there. So I don't even know what you do.
Well, I just taking the money.
And that's so keep on working, boys. Keep on working, because we need you. Well, hey, man, I really appreciate you spending some time with us. Just kind of sharing a little bit of your heart and where you're from. And we got a couple events coming up that we're gonna be doing some work with anyway. So stay tuned, everybody. And then Mike Letica on his Facebook, he always posting different events or things. So look on his Facebook page, Mike Letica, and then I share stuff that he put and vice versa. So
what is the next big event?
It's the backpack giveaway. Pez has his going on at Bayfront, I think next Monday.
Yeah.
And then I'm helping one with Valley Youth Center. I usually do one, and then Valley Youth Center does it, but I combined them this year. So
and that one is the 22nd. 22nd is a Thursday. Be on the lookout for that. We'll put some information up for when that backpack drive is as well.
It's 3 to 6 at Memorial Park with bouncy houses, food, and all that kind of stuff.
3 to 6, August 22nd. Be there.
If it rains, we're going to go the 29th because we want it outside. So.
Perfect.
22nd is the day, though. I probably just confused people. So.
Perfect. Well, thanks for spending time with us, and hopefully we'll see y'all next time.
Yeah, thanks. Had fun.
That's it.